Today's date, January 2024. We will continue with the things we are doing, and it's kind of presenting the workflow as something really simple, especially by the effort we did since 2014. We have this very first moment talk, I would say, very straight with the federal justice in New York City. We have a movement, and indeed started at the best of two persons that kind of had at that time the same problem. It's named Bill and Bobby, the founder of this kind of movement. I don't know if they got a Nobel Prize or something like this, but they could understand that many of the bad situations they are passing through at that time, considering the crackdown on USA like in 1929, has kind of a source or a root cause at the will. And then they could understand that some external elements that they put inside compromise the will and the expression. And little by little took the capacity of, for instance, be happy day by day. And they could understand this kind of thing as a dependence. Because without some specific elements that compromise the will and starting a cycle of vices, indeed they kind of can't have a regular life. So they notice that they are powerless at that situation. And during the studies made, I would say by them to both, considering others at the local community in USA that are sharing the same problem, they could observe, and indeed it's told at the literature on it, that when you have a problem at the will with root cause as an external element that you put inside and really reduce your autonomy to do things on your regular day by day, the property, the power, or the prestige could, and you must take an extra careful because it will be downhill to decay. It's told by an American. It's not a science, it's a regular people that face that problem. We will observe that the complainant criminal architecture in solidarity by power misuse, that indeed is representing the power misusers in action of misuses, blazing act. This kind of thing, globally talking, happening is still happening inside the institution. The criminal architecture only goes inside failure and weakness of institutional power, and was complained as lack of will, a disability, the strength to act, or the motivation to do what is supposed to be made, or you have it indeed to do. If the judge is paid to apply the law, and the judge only apply the law by interest and circumstance relevant for him or her, indeed it's a behavior at least outline, not good behavior, right? It's told in USA, that's the Article 3, I think that's Section 1 or 3. It's about this, the good behavior of the judicial power in both courts, inferior and superior. Then we could understand that this problem that compromises the will and the expression is common and go equally at the criminal, at the authority, at the normal people, at the big stars or whatever. And in general, they will have problems to present things expected properly. The decision of different areas is continuing or do not continue, because the different areas noticed as equal by the element as common interest in run things that took the capacity and so such the feasibility of these two both system is continual or not. But seems that the decision is keep the pace as decreasement of capacity and legitimacy, going by the actions inside. That kind of architecture we could have at the previous board, as highlighted, happens inside the regular area. And will change the behavior as your organization, the global business, if the officer make an entry and take advantage of this, creating problems against your company or stealing the industrial secrets you have, making an entire parallel activity to do the economic espionage, or put artists in a situation of exploitation or vulnerability to have the need, as walking through and run inside really dark compositions at the scenery. And we have for today something quite simple, which was the international events in Brazil, with complaints locally made and internationally made, and got combined as common international purpose to obtain the information as a guarantee. It's the same thing we had yesterday, but highlighted. The credit protection, counterfeit, credit research. The research will ask something by guarantee 33, for instance, in Brazil, considering in global events locally made as an aggression or a fraud scam, or the default of this requirement to present the information that indeed is white-collar crime, or the abusive procedure to set the misperception based on fake data, to do not pay or accomplish this credit, which was also white-collar crime by equity, the obstruction made to do not have the financial and monetary accomplishment legally asked is white-collar crime. The law 7,492, Article 6, 10, 11, and 18 is about fraudulent records, papers, and the information not properly delivered, or the action not made on time by the federal justice, prosecution, and police. And then we have the law 13,869. The articles 22, 23, 25, and others are about illegal procedure against someone or something, like the credit that that is legal and straight, but you try to destroy it by defamation and a lot of things on procedures. The article 313A in a criminal law Brazil is specifically told that the fake records go by insertion or by logical gap as silence, always made by specific hands on public department. The continuity of them by silence, but the institutional array assuming the risk of as keep them inside. Blind eye association. And we have the law 12,850, which is about the transnational organized crime. The main point here is that this architecture of parallel power go inside the institution and show no interest, motivation, or the will strong enough to act against the problems inside. By this, we set this compliance having the obstruction as silence, the silence and the obstruction to do not accomplish the credit research, which implies the fake dollars and other elements on counterfeit white-collar crime. The charge as payroll 40 trillion plus 12 billion go against institution, which is that architecture of power, and the solidarity as this area here, which are the power misusers in this is inside this situation here, right? Kind of. In a very specific moment of time as your departments, you had the not proper activity collinear on time with a new pattern as function doing the fake records. And we charge the entire institution to chase down those heads here. And by property, by power and prestige, they put the entire institution, which in some way implies the institution doing and states doing the criminal protection of criminal elements inside this architecture of power. This is qualified as criminal use of power. Has no excuse in any area, right? Sourced at the Brazil, but globally talking, but you all at the paper. Have a great day and week.